Are you looking for a great chicken recipe? Well, I've got you some. Hey friends, my name's Susan and welcome to my home. Today I've got you 4 amazing chicken recipes that we absolutely love. So let me get this ponytail up and let's get to making some amazing chicken recipes. Come on, let's get to cooking. And it's early morning and we are gonna make some slow cooker Cajun chicken fettuccine. I'm just gonna do the first portion this morning, what I need to put into the crock pot, which I've got some chicken broth, some oregano, onion powder, garlic powder, some onion itself, some slap your mama, and some chicken breast. And that's what I'm gonna do. Instead of the red pepper flake and paprika, I'm gonna use some slap your mama because you know that's spicy and it's really, really good. Also some salt and pepper. But other than that, we're ready to get everything in the slow cooker so it can cook while we're gone to work. And I'm going to go ahead and put the frozen chicken breast into the crock pot. This is my smaller crock pot. Like I said, I'm only half in the recipe, so I've got that in. It does call for 1 cup of chicken broth. I am not going to half in that. I think I'm just going to put the whole cup in. That way it covers the whole bottom. Now for a little bit of oregano. A little bit of onion powder and a little bit more of garlic powder, that is. There we go. I'm going to add some of the slap your mama in, and this is very spicy, so I'm not going to put too awful much because y'all know I love the spicy, but this thing can get you. Let me go ahead and flip the chicken around into the mixture, that way it can get well coated, get all that good chicken juice all over the place. Now I'm going to add basically half of a cut up onion on top, which was kind of weird, but that's what it said. So that's what I'm going to do. And of course, y'all know, if I dare you, it's the way I roll. There we go. This is going on low while I'm at work. I'm going to put it on 8 hours, and then we'll come back and see what we have. And when I come home from work, this is what everything looked like. I am going to go ahead and add some noodles, which no, surprise, surprise, I didn't use fettuccine noodles. I used penne. I've got some heavy cream and some Parmesan cheese that are going in. And Dolly is wanting some food apparently. So let's get to putting everything into the crock pot. And I'm going to go ahead and use my meat masher here to shred my chicken. If y'all haven't figured this out, I've done this quite a few times. It makes it into beautiful little pieces of chicken as long as you don't have any vegetables in here at the time or nothing that would be mushed. You can go ahead and do this. And like I said, look at all that beautifully shredded chicken in very little time. I'm going to go ahead and add in some heavy cream and some Parmesan cheese into the mix. And I'm going to go ahead and stir this up. And yes, that is Parmesan cheese, and that will melt once it gets warm, so that's not a problem. And I'm going to give it a little taste and see if it needs some more of the slap your mama seasoning in it, because y'all know we like it spicy. I'm going to add just a dab more of the seasoning. Not much, because it tastes really good. Because you know, that's the way it goes. Get this stirred up, and then it'll be time to put the noodles into the crock pot. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the noodles into the mix and then give that a good stir. Look at all that chicken. It's not as thick as I would like it to be. It's more watery. Maybe I added a little bit too much chicken broth in. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of a slurry in to see if that'll thicken things up, and let it stay on warm and bubble just a little bit and see if it thickens. And I've tried to thicken this up just a little bit, and it is still not as thick as I would have liked it. Maybe if I let it cook just a little bit longer, it might thicken up a little bit more. I think I probably put a little bit too much bone broth in to begin with. But it still tastes amazing. Let's go ahead and get it in a bowl. This turned out so good. Your family's gonna love it. A little spicy, but just right. And let's get to making some one-pot chicken chow mein. It's pretty quick and simple. It says on the recipe. This is the first time I've made it, so hopefully it's going to be really good. I'll let you know. We need a little olive oil or canola oil, some soy sauce or liquid aminos. I've got some ginger. I've got some minced garlic, 3 chicken breasts that I've cut into cubes, a little hoisin sauce. You can use chow mein noodles, you can use ramen noodles or spaghetti, and I've got spaghetti, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. I also have a bag of angel hair coleslaw that we're going to be using. I've got 4 cups of chicken broth, a little bit of cornstarch if we need to thicken it up at the end. It called for red bell peppers. I had orange, so I'm going to go ahead and use those. And a bag of the stir-fry medley. I go ahead and get it out. I trim off any of the ends if they're brown, and of course the snow peas. I don't like a whole snow pea, so I'll cut them into pieces and rinse everything really, really good. So this is ready to go in the pan for some one-pot chicken chow mein, guys. Let's get to cooking. First thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of the olive oil to the pan, just a little bit, and the chicken breasts that have been cubed up. I do have the pan turned on. It isn't as hot as I would like it yet, but I'm going to go ahead and get all this into the pan to start searing up so it can taste amazing. And I've cooked these for a few minutes and the chicken has started to get brown. So I'm going to go ahead and add in all of the vegetables. The carrots, the broccoli, snow peas, the peppers, and the cabbage. And I'm going to let them cook for just a few minutes until everything starts to wilt. I'm going to go ahead and stir this around just a little bit. And then I'm going to put the lid on it. That way the moisture coming off all of this will help cook the cabbage a little more, even though this is angel hair coleslaw cabbage. This has been cooking for just a few minutes. As you notice, the cabbage has cooked down quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and add in the garlic, which is 2 teaspoons of garlic. There you go. And 1 teaspoon of the ginger. I'm going to stir that around in here until it becomes nice and fragrant, which is not going to take long. And this is actually smelling really good. Hopefully I'll get Danny to eat a lot of his vegetables. Guys, y'all know my husband, the pickiest eater. But this has a lot of good stuff, and he loves anything that is oriental flavored, so we're going good on that. The next thing I'm going to add in is the chicken stock, the soy sauce, and the hoisin sauce. I put it all together in one container, and that is going in. And I have let this start to boil, so now it is time to add in the spaghetti noodles. Like I said, you could add ramen noodles or chow mein noodles, whatever you want, but I am going to be adding in spaghetti noodles, and I'm going to leave them long, because if you ever go to a Chinese restaurant or a restaurant to get this recipe, you know that they have long noodles in them. So I'm going to get them pushed down below the surface of the water. There we go. And I'm going to let this cook. It says to give them al dente, which I can understand that. So I'm probably going to let them cook about 5 minutes and check on them. I am going to come in here and stir occasionally. So I'll bring you back whenever everything is complete. And this is cooked for about 5 minutes. I don't know if you can see all the noodles and stuff that are in there, but they have grown tremendously. And it smells amazing in my kitchen, guys. Oh my gosh. So let's go ahead and get this plated up, because it is time to eat. And this was so good. If you love Oriental food and you like to make it at home, then I have another video with my easy chicken fried rice linked below. It is also a winner in our book. Let's get to making some Mexican chicken wings. If you hear any squeaking in the background, Danny and Buddy are playing. Oh yes, I've got some chicken wing drumettes right here. I've got some tomatoes on the vine, some adobo, some Saison Goya in the orange packet, and an onion that's going to be going in this. But the first thing we've got to do is get these marinated. At least 30 minutes overnight would be even better. But let's go ahead and get these in the marinade. I'm going to go ahead and put the chicken wings into a gallon Ziploc bag to marinate for a little bit. There we go. And there's a few things that you do need to put into this bag. I'm going to go ahead and put 1 packet of the orange Saison in here. And I'm also going to put a couple sprinkles of Goya adobo. And let me go ahead and zip this up. I'm going to get all of this dispersed among the chicken wings. Just like this. Now this can set for about 30 minutes and marinate, or as long as you want it to marinate. Overnight's even better, because I've done that before and it's really, really good. Let's go ahead and get this marinated while I get the rest of the ingredients ready to go in the pan. Now we're going to make short work of this. I have 1 onion that I am basically going to mandolin into the pan real quick. And I put it on really fine, so as you can see, you can almost see through them. But this will help it cook down a little bit. Oh, and I meant to add a dab of olive oil into the bottom of it. Just a dab so that the onion doesn't stick. And I'm going to stir all of this together real quick. Next is the tomato. We're going to do it basically the same way. If you do not have a mandolin, that's fine. Just cut it really thin slice, small pieces, and these tomatoes won't take but a second. And I am doing them very thinly sliced. I don't know if you can see that. But let's get the tomatoes going. And I do kind of have a love-hate relationship with this mandolin. You have to be very careful with your fingers. That's why I have a finger guard. And then I basically cut it down till there's nothing left hardly, and that doesn't go in. All of the tomatoes are in the pan. I have turned the heat down just a little bit. The next step is to cover this up and let this cook for about 10 or 15 minutes. Like I said, I'm letting the chicken marinate while I'm doing this. But that needs to cook down just a little bit, and then I'll bring you back. I've let this cook down just a few minutes. As you can see, it's basically turning almost to a liquid. And that's what happens. It does, and it's a wonderfully flavorful liquid at that. I am going to add some adobo to the mixture. And I'm also going to add a packet of orange Saison to this mixture. It just makes it so flavorful. And I'm going to stir it in. Now the next thing we're going to do is add the chicken wings to this. And if y'all have ever seen me make this, which I make it occasionally, make it a lot more in the summertime, not winter. For whatever reason, but we love it no matter when. The chicken wings and any juices that are in the Ziploc bag go in next. And I do get a little particular about how I lay my chicken in here, so let me get the chicken put into the pot. Now I have all of the chicken laid out. Like I told you, I'm kind of particular about how I laid out. And all the juice that was in the bag is now in this pan with the chicken. I'm going to cover this up. And it is on probably about a medium-low heat. And I'm probably going to put it on, let me go ahead. It's boiling real good now. So we just want to turn it down to about a 2 or a low. And I'm going to let this cook for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then I'm going to flip it for 5 to 10 minutes more. And then you can eat it that way, but I'll show you how we love it to eat it. And 5 minutes in, I'm going to go ahead and turn the chicken wings. Woo! Steaming you up, I believe. Look how orange they are. They look so good. Now, I'm going to go ahead and leave these on for another 5 minutes. And I have the air fryer heating up. You can guess what I'm going to do. But yeah, it makes it amazing. And it is time to get this out of the pan and put it into the air fryer. I've already preheated this 400 degrees. I'm going to fit as many as I can into the air fryer, hopefully all of them. And we're going to do these for maybe 5 minutes. It's not going to take long. They're already cooked. I'm just trying to crisp the skin up. That's all I'm doing in this one. So let me get these in and let me show you what I do with these wonderful juices in the pan. And I wound up pouring all of those juices from the pan into my Ninja food blender and blended it up real good. And here's what the chicken looked like straight out of the air fryer. So good. And if you're enjoying this video, go ahead and press that little button down below and subscribe. And don't forget to press that little bell so you'll be reminded each time I put a new video up. And here's what the chicken looked like before I put the sauce on it and after I put the sauce on it. It is amazing. Last week we did a version of this. This week we're going to do the chicken version. We're going to do some chicken taquita salsa bake. And chicken taquitas taste better with a green salsa, but I'm also going to add a little bit of red salsa on top, just because I love the combination, the green and red, you know, Christmas. So I've got some chicken and cheese taquitas. You can choose the brand you love. I've got some green salsa verde. This is thick and chunky. And some chunky salsa and Mexican cheese. And that's all you need for this. And this was so easy last week. It's going to be so easy this week. And it's definitely a crowd pleaser. It is so good. So let's get it in the dish. And it cannot be any more simpler than this. I have got 7 chicken and cheese flour taquitas. I probably could do 8. You know, because we love chicken and cheese. There you go, 8. You can do a long line of them, a big dish of them, whatever you want to do, but there's your base. The next ingredient is the salsa verde, thick and chunky. I'm going to go ahead and lay some of the green on, and then I'm going to use my spoon to smooth this out. I love green chilies. I love green salsa verde. Definitely a win-win. And we are going to make this a little bit spicy because this is medium chunky salsa. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of this on the top. And again, layer that over. Not quite as much because I do have that green salsa that I want the flavors to come out of when this all cooks. But I'm definitely getting all this covered and smothered so it will taste amazing. And the last ingredient, of course, is some cheese to go over the top. Y'all know I love a good cheese pull, and there is nothing wrong with putting a little extra on this so you get a good amount of cheese. The oven has preheated to 400 degrees. Let's put this in. It only takes about 12 minutes, it says. I'm thinking it's probably going to be more like 15, but still, for a main dish, you can't beat that. So let's get it in the oven. And here's what it looked like after it came out of the oven. If you want to brown the top some more, you can. Y'all know we could care less about the brown cheese. So let's get it on a plate. And this one was just as good as the beef version. I add a little bit of sour cream to the top, and it is time for some good eatings. Y'all will love this. I told you those chicken recipes were so good. And if you haven't already, go ahead and press that little button down below and subscribe and ring that bell because you don't want to miss any of the videos whenever I put them up. And don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. I always love to hear where you're from in my comments. Until next time, see you then.